Hi everyone, it's Mo here and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's video is my weekly series and it's the top game week 10 transfers. In this video, I give you 3 certified picks and 1 joker in the pack just in case you fancy being a little bit different. Before we get into the video, I want you to do me a favor. Like, subscribe and share this video with any other FPL managers you think might enjoy this content. I really appreciate that. Now that's done, let's get into the video. The first pick I'm going to give you is Mohamed Salah himself, the king. He's back on form. Everyone wants a piece of him. Why is that? Well, if you've been watching football the last 5 game weeks, you would have seen he's given you 4 double-digit returns in the last 5 game weeks, including a 15-pointer and a 16-pointer. And if you've been captaining him, you're just seeing green arrows. Simple as that. He's reaching a stage now where he's becoming a must-own for me. Like literally playing with a smile in his face. Like at the start of the season, he was I won't say a bit part play, but he wasn't heavily involved as much as he is now. Yes, before you say, I know he's had penalties. Well, you'd expect that. Liverpool's attack, they're going to, tricky plays, they're going to get into the box and cause problems. They're going to get penalties. When there's penalties, you know, Salah's not giving them to anyone else. So you don't need to sell Salah, but I've given you a couple of points right there. Great fixtures as well. Liverpool got Nottingham Forest next. Again, you've seen what he's done the last 2 game weeks. I expect nothing else but a double-digit return. He will be so highly captained this game week. It's unreal. So if you don't already own him, it's a no-brainer. I mean, negatives. Is there any negatives for someone like Salah? I'll give you one. He's 12.8 million. Pretty expensive. You might have to make sacrifices, whether it's Haaland or Son or Saka. You might need to make sacrifices to get him in. But guess what? I think everyone is disposable for Salah. That's how important I think is at the moment. Get him in your team. Second transfer I'm going to give you is the Saka. Good boy. Everyone loves Saka. Why am I recommending him? Right. Again, there's a theme here. When it's a top bracket player playing for a top bracket team with great fixtures, we have to start paying attention. Saka fits that mold. He's got unbelievable fixtures coming up with Sheffield United. I mean, Arsenal are close to giving a couple of teams beatings, and I reckon this weekend could be the start of them games. I know the start of the season, their attack has not been flowing. Fair play, we've all seen that. But they've not had a chance to play their main front three. Hopefully, the upcoming game could be that. Saka, again, rotation proof. You've seen before his record. Plays practically every game. I think he's on Arteta's first name on that team sheet. So you don't need to worry about that. When he's in your team, as long as he's fit, he plays. So I've already told you, great fixtures, assured minutes, and I think he's Arsenal's best attacker. Yes, they have Jesus, Martinelli, Trossard, Smith-Rowe, Odegaard. I know they have loads of options, but for me, Saka is the best one of them. Some cons, not much here, but I will give you a couple. First and foremost, he's recovering from a slight injury. He did play in Champions League and then got taken off at the end. But he does get a beating during games, as he's such a good dribbler and so good at holding onto the ball. He encourages and invites tackles. So it remains to be seen, is Arteta going to start looking after him? So an example, against Sheffield United when they're winning, say 2-0, is he going to take him off? Where before, they could be winning 5-0, Saka staying on. So that's something to keep an eye on as he's just come back from injury. And the second one is he gives away penalties, which is quite frustrating. Yes, it makes us love him and he's a nice guy and everyone loves Saka, possibly even Spurs fans. But giving away penalties is not great because he's already got a good amount of points. Arsenal's highest scoring midfielder, but can you imagine how many? I think he's given away 2 penalties. I mean, that's ridiculous. A potential 20 points right there. So that's quite frustrating. But as I said, even with those cons, he's, for me, the second best transfer this game week. Let's have a look at the third. Third one, another obvious one, is Ollie Watkins. Now, this guy here, similar, there's a theme here. A player in form, playing for an excellent attacking team with great fixtures. I mean, his next fixture is Luton. Luton are really struggling. Villa are flying. It's a match made in heaven. Now, for me, he's starting to become a captain option. The reason I say that to you, before, I mean, he's returned every game week this season, bar 1 game. I think that was against Liverpool. But then returns were, 5 points, 8 points, 5 points. He's starting to add double-digit returns now. Now, that becomes you need to start paying attention, because that combined with the fixtures like Luton, he is captain material for me. So if you're struggling, you don't have a good captain or captain this weekend, you're not 100%. Say you was banking on Haaland versus United and you're not, for once, you're a bit unsure on Haaland. Well, guess what? If you've got Watkins, you should not be unsure. He's returned it's just a matter of worst comes to worst, he gives you 8 points. That's how he's playing at the moment, and that's how Aston Villa are playing. Unai Emery's done a great job. I mean, yeah, that's the pros. Cons, any negatives of getting Watkins? Not really. The one I am going to go for, he doesn't take the penalties. If he took the penalties, he would have broken FPL. That's the honest truth, because you just have to look at Douglas Luiz's points thanks to Ollie Watkins not taking the pens. Ridiculous, like the amount of points he's lost there. But guess what? Even with no pens, for me, he's the third best transfer this game week. So if you don't already own him, I would get him in. Okay, so that's 3 picks. Very obvious, I know. At times in FPL, the obvious pick, as I said, is the right pick here. Now I'm going to give you something a little bit different. Okay, it's a bit of a joker pick. Let's see who it is. Okay, see now you're thinking, oh, this is a bit risky. And rightly so. So this pick is dependent on, say, Arsenal last night playing in Champions League. Looks like Jesus came off injured with a hammy. We don't know the extent. Of course, you will need to listen to the press conferences, get an update. Because if he even is close to being fit, you're not going to go near this player. Ben Nketiah, look at the price. Is it 5.5 million, playing for one of the best teams in the Premier League, one of the best attacks. And Arteta has shown this season that he does like him and he's throwing him in. I know a lot of Arsenal fans are not that happy with him. In fact, the ones I speak to say to me that he's not good enough for a team like Arsenal. I mean, that remains to be seen. But if he is going to be starting, and at 5.5 million, I really like this pick. And if you're on a wild card, you want to wait late as possible to try and get an inkling that is he going to take that spot? Or if so, guess what? You don't go for him this week. It could be one that you go for next week. If he starts this game week against Sheffield United and scores, you know what's going to happen. He's next week's #1 pick. He's not a joker pick no more. Because look, at that price for one of the best, you just can't. It's an easy pick. Yes, even with all the options we have, this here, we're all trying to save money where we can, and he would be a perfect cheap enabler that plays for one of the top teams. Now, that's all the pros I've given you. The negatives, of course, is rotation. Arsenal, Smith Rowe, Odegaard, Trossard, Martinelli, they've got players. They really do. Arteta has got attacking players at his disposal. So that's quite worrying. And again, he takes up an Arsenal spot. That's the other negative. Look at it like this. Say you've got Saliba and Saka, and say Trossard pops off and you're thinking, oh my God, I want to get him. If you've already got Eddie, it's going to be an issue for you. So that's something, again, another negative. But that's my joker pick. Let me know what you think. Is this way too risky? Let me know in the comments. That's the transfers. What you thinking? Good? Bad? You already own all of them? Or no chance you won't be bringing any of them in? Whatever you're doing this game week, do me a favor. Let me know in the comments and I'll 100% get back to you. Now, before you shoot off, I want you to do me one more favor. That's like and subscribe. And in return, I will wish you good luck for this upcoming game week and I'll see you on my next video.